Hey everyone, it's January 16th, 2025, and we've got some breaking news to start off with today.
Yeah.
Bollywood actor Saif Ali Khan was stabbed at his home in Mumbai early this morning.
Oh, wow. That's a scary situation. It
Yep.
really, I guess, highlights how vulnerable even high-profile individuals can be.
Yeah, absolutely. And it sounds like there was an intruder, and Saif was injured during the attack.
Oh no.
He needed a medical procedure, but thankfully reports suggest he's going to be okay.
Okay, that's good. That's good to hear. Hopefully they'll be able to apprehend whoever did it and make sure that justice is served.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, shifting gears a bit. I was reading about this former government employee who was entangled in an assassination plot in the U.S.,
Yeah.
and now it seems he's caught up in an extortion case here in India.
Right.
What's the connection there?
It's a case with some pretty intriguing international implications, actually. We're talking about a former raw agent who's accused of extortion here in India, but was also linked to a plan to assassinate a U.S. judge.
Wow, that's quite a web. So what are the broader implications of this case? I mean, it seems like it could have some pretty serious consequences.
Yeah, it really raises some important questions about international cooperation when it comes to law enforcement and intelligence sharing. What does this mean for our relationships with other countries when it comes to tackling organized crime?
Yeah, it's a bit unsettling to think about those ramifications.
Hmm.
Okay, let's move on to a different topic. I saw an article about the Indian Navy commissioning some new warships.
Yeah.
It seems like they're really stepping up their presence in the Indian Ocean. What's the significance of these new vessels?
Yeah, it's a pretty clear sign that India is committed to strengthening its naval power.
Oh.
The INS Surat, the INS Nilgiri, and the INS Vagshir, a destroyer, a frigate, and a submarine, all significant additions to their fleet.
And they were all built in India, right?
Exactly. And that's particularly noteworthy. It
Oh.
highlights a growing self-reliance when it comes to warship and submarine production. Historically, India has often relied on foreign suppliers for these types of vessels.
Yeah, that shift towards self-reliance is pretty interesting. Okay, on a totally different note, I came across this article about the Cocoa World Cup. It's not something you hear about every day.
Right.
And get this, the captain of Argentina's team is also a kabaddi player.
Oh, wow. Now that's a fun fact. It's fascinating to see how sports can kind of transcend borders and create these unexpected connections.
I know, right? You've got this ancient Indian sport, Coco, being played on a global stage, and then you have this Argentinian player who's also skilled in another Indian sport, kabaddi. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it really speaks to the potential for cross-cultural exchange
Yeah.
through sports. Who knows? Maybe we'll start seeing more athletes training in multiple disciplines, borrowing techniques and strategies from different sporting traditions.
Yeah, that would be pretty amazing to see. And it's not just about the athletes, it's about the fans,
Yeah.
too. You have people from all over the world getting interested in these sports they might never have even heard of before.
Right. It's a testament to the power of sports
Yeah.
to connect people from different cultures and backgrounds.
Okay, let's shift gears again and talk about something that's sure to have a huge impact on the travel industry. It looks like the Maha Kumbh Mela is expected to generate a massive surge in travel, with airlines even adding extra flights to accommodate the influx of pilgrims.
Yeah, the Maha Kumbh Mela is an event of just colossal proportions, drawing millions of pilgrims from all corners of India and the world. This influx of visitors presents a significant opportunity for the travel and hospitality sectors.
It's incredible to think about the sheer scale of this event and its ripple effects on the economy. It's not just about flights, it's about hotels, transportation, food, and so much more.
You're spot on. The economic impact is substantial. Take, for instance, Air India's decision to launch daily flights between Delhi and Prayagraj specifically for the duration of the Kumbh Mela.
That's a pretty clear indicator of the demand they're anticipating.
Absolutely. This event provides a unique window into the intersection of faith, culture, and economics. It's fascinating to observe how these forces interact and shape the experience for millions of people. It's truly a remarkable phenomenon. Speaking of remarkable, you mentioned the Delhi elections earlier. What stood out to you from the coverage?
Well, the political alliances are definitely heating things up. The fact that both the Samajwadi Party and the Trinamool Congress have thrown their support behind the Aam Aadmi Party, that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, it certainly adds an interesting dynamic to the race. You've got these major political players aligning themselves against the BJP, creating a pretty formidable opposition force.
Right, and it seems like they're confident in AAP's ability to challenge the BJP's stronghold in Delhi. Okay, enough politics for now. Did you happen to see that article about the fog in Delhi? It caused quite a bit of chaos at the airport.
Ah, yes, the infamous Delhi fog. It's a force to be reckoned with during the winter months. The dense fog led to extremely low visibility conditions, causing flight diversions, delays, and even temporary halts to departures.
It's incredible how something as simple as fog can have such a massive impact on travel and logistics.
It's a stark reminder of how vulnerable we are to the whims of nature, even with all our technological advancements.
Very true. Okay, this next story is a bit heavy. There's been a tragic coal mining accident in Assam with 4 deaths reported so far.
That's devastating news. Coal mining accidents are always a stark reminder of the risks involved in this industry.
And this particular incident has reignited the debate about the dangers of rat hole mining, which was banned several years ago due to its inherent safety risks and environmental damage.
It is concerning to hear that this mine in Dima Hasao was potentially operating illegally.
Yeah.
This raises serious questions about enforcement and the effectiveness of the ban.
Absolutely. It's a complex issue with no easy answers. There's the economic aspect, the need for jobs and resources, and then there's the human cost, the safety of the miners, and the environmental impact.
It's a delicate balance, and this tragedy underscores the urgent need for comprehensive solutions that prioritize both human well-being and environmental sustainability.
Okay, let's move on to something a bit more positive. I was reading about the progress being made in infrastructure facilities in Indian schools.
Oh, that's encouraging news. The report highlighted a significant narrowing of the gap between rural and urban schools when it comes to access to basic facilities like drinking water, electricity, and toilets.
That's a crucial step towards ensuring quality education for all children, regardless of their location or background.
Absolutely. These basic facilities are not just amenities, they're fundamental requirements for creating a conducive learning environment.
Right. It's hard to focus on your studies when you're thirsty, sitting in the dark, or lacking proper sanitation.
Exactly. This progress is a testament to the efforts being made to improve educational infrastructure across the country. It's an investment in the future generations.
Okay, this next story raises some intriguing legal and cultural questions. It involves a potential murder case in Yemen and the possibility of blood money being paid.
Right. This case brings to light the concept of diya in Islamic Sharia law. It's essentially a form of financial compensation that can be paid by the perpetrator of a crime to the victim's family as a means of seeking forgiveness or atonement.
It's a fascinating concept that I admit I don't fully understand. Could you elaborate a bit more on how it works in practice?
Of course, it's important to note that the application and interpretation of diya can vary widely across different Islamic communities and legal systems. In some cases, it's seen as a way to bring closure and reconciliation, while in others, it might be viewed as a way to avoid more severe punishments.
It's a complex issue with cultural, religious, and legal dimensions.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about a story that sparked quite a bit of controversy here in India.
Hmm.
It involves OIO's recent policy regarding unmarried couples.
Ah, yes, this policy has certainly generated a lot of discussion. Essentially, OIO is allowing its partner hotels to refuse accommodation to unmarried couples based on what they call local sensibilities.
It seems like a pretty bold move that's raised concerns about potential discrimination and the legality of such a policy.
Exactly. Critics argue that it violates the right to privacy and freedom of choice. They question whether a private company can impose such restrictions based on moral or societal norms.
It'll be interesting to see how this situation unfolds both legally and socially.
It certainly highlights the evolving dynamics between personal freedom, business practices, and societal values.
Okay, let's dive into the world of science for a moment. Did you catch the article about the discovery of semi-direct fermions?
I did. It's a pretty exciting development in the field of condensed matter physics.
I'll admit I'm a bit out of my depth when it comes to particle physics. What makes these semi-direct fermions so special?
Well, they exhibit some rather unique properties. Imagine a particle that behaves as if it has no mass when moving in one direction, but acquires mass when moving in a perpendicular direction. It's like defying the conventional rules of physics.
That's mind-boggling. So, what are the potential implications of this discovery?
It's still early days, but this discovery could open up new avenues in materials science and electronics. Imagine developing materials with completely novel electronic properties based on the behavior of these semi-direct fermions.
It's amazing to think about the potential technological advancements that could stem from such a fundamental discovery. Okay, speaking of pushing boundaries, SpaceX is at it again with another mission to the moon.
Yes, they're sending 2 spacecraft, Blue Ghost and Resilience, packed with 10 NASA instruments.
What's the mission objective?
It's a multifaceted mission with several scientific goals. They'll be studying the Earth's magnetosphere, analyzing lunar dust, and even probing the moon's internal structure.
It's incredible to see the continued exploration of our celestial neighbor. It makes you wonder what other secrets the moon holds.
There's still so much we don't know. Every mission brings us closer to understanding the moon's history, its formation, and its potential role in our future space endeavors.
Okay, let's shift gears to a topic that's a bit closer to home, but no less significant. I'm talking about the challenges India faces due to China's expansionist policies, particularly when it comes to transboundary water issues.
This is a critical geopolitical issue with potentially far-reaching consequences. China's control over the headwaters of major rivers like the Brahmaputra and the Indus gives them significant leverage over downstream countries, including India.
It seems like this control over water resources could become a major source of conflict in the region. What are the potential ramifications if these water disputes escalate?
It's a complex and delicate situation. Water scarcity is already a major concern in many parts of India, and any disruption to the flow of these rivers could have devastating consequences for agriculture industry and even basic human needs.
It's a reminder of how interconnected we are, not just within our borders, but across the region. What steps are being taken to address these concerns and prevent potential conflicts?
Diplomacy is key. India is engaging in bilateral talks with China to try and establish cooperative frameworks for water management. However, progress has been slow and mistrust remains high.
It sounds like a situation that requires a lot of careful negotiation and a willingness to find common ground.
Absolutely. It's about finding a balance between national interests and the need for regional stability. Water is a shared resource, and cooperation is essential to ensure its equitable distribution and prevent potential conflicts.
Okay, let's move on to a story about a recent interaction between the Border Security Force and the Border Guard Bangladesh. It seems they had a meeting to discuss some ongoing tensions.
This meeting was significant given the recent escalation of tensions along the India-Bangladesh border. Issues like the construction of border fences in certain areas have fueled disputes and mistrust.
So what was the outcome of this meeting? Did they manage to find any common ground?
Both sides reaffirmed their commitment to strengthening bilateral relations and enhancing border security. However, it's unclear how they plan to address the specific points of contention.
It sounds like there's still a lot of work to be done to build trust and resolve these issues.
Absolutely. Border disputes are rarely simple, and they often require sustained dialogue and a willingness to compromise to find lasting solutions.
Okay, this next story is just bizarre. It seems Donald Trump is planning to create a new department called the External Revenue Service to collect tariffs and duties from foreign sources.
That's a curious development, to say the least. The U.S. already has a well-established system for collecting tariffs and duties through Customs and Border Protection. Creating a separate entity with such a redundant name raises eyebrows.
It does seem a bit unnecessary. What's the rationale behind this move?
It's hard to say with any certainty. Some speculate that it's a symbolic gesture aimed at emphasizing Trump's protectionist trade policies. Others suggest it might be a way to streamline tariff collection or exert more pressure on foreign governments.
It's certainly an unconventional approach, and it'll be interesting to see how it plays out in practice. Okay, let's switch gears to a political development in Bangladesh. It seems the Labour Party MP has resigned amidst controversy.
This involves Tulip Siddiq, who happens to be the niece of Bangladesh's former leader, Sheikh Hasina. She stepped down from her position as Treasury Minister to avoid her family connections becoming a distraction for the British government.
It sounds like she was facing some serious allegations.
She was accused of corruption and a lack of transparency regarding her use of properties in London. While she denies any wrongdoing, she decided to resign to protect the reputation of the government.
It's an interesting case study in the complexities of family ties and political dynamics.
Absolutely. It highlights how personal connections can sometimes become liabilities in the political arena, especially when they intersect with allegations of impropriety.
Okay, let's end on a lighter note. I came across a heartwarming story about an Afghan women's writing group that formed during a period of great upheaval.
I believe you're referring to the book, My Dear Kabul. It offers a poignant and intimate glimpse into the lives of Afghan women as they navigate the challenges and uncertainties of Taliban rule.
It's inspiring to see these women finding solace and empowerment through their shared passion for writing.
It's a testament to the human spirit's ability to find creative outlets and forge connections even in the most challenging circumstances.
Okay, before we wrap up part 2, there's one more story I want to touch on. It's about a book that provides a rather stark perspective on life under Taliban rule.
Ah, yes. You must be talking about Asni Searstad's The Bookseller of Kabul. It's a powerful account that contrasts the lives of men and women in Afghan society under the Taliban's strict interpretation of Islamic law.
The descriptions of women's experiences, particularly the restrictions imposed by the burqa, are quite eye-opening.
Searstad's book offers a valuable contribution to understanding the complexities of Afghan society and the enduring challenges faced by women in their quest for equality and freedom.
It's a sobering reminder of the ongoing struggle for human rights in many parts of the world. It really makes you think about, the diverse experiences that people are having around the world.
Yeah.
Speaking of diverse experiences, I was reading about the Indian women's cricket team. They just achieved their biggest ODI win ever.
Oh, wow.
A 304-run victory against Ireland.
That's fantastic.
It's a testament to the team's skill and determination and the growing strength of women's cricket in India.
It's incredible to see how far women's cricket has come.
Yeah, it's a proud moment for Indian sports. Okay, let's shift gears to a story about a major development in the Indian electric vehicle market. It seems like Hero MotoCorp is making a big push into this sector.
They are indeed. As India's largest two-wheeler manufacturer, their commitment to EVs could be a game changer. They're not just expanding their product line, but also investing in charging infrastructure across the country.
That's a smart move.
Yeah.
Building that supporting infrastructure is key to making EVs a viable option for more people.
Exactly. It's not just about the vehicles themselves. It's about creating an entire ecosystem that supports their adoption.
Okay, this next story raises some concerns about data privacy and the power of tech giants. Elon Musk is facing legal challenges related to his disclosure practices regarding his stake in Twitter.
It's a case that highlights the importance of transparency and accountability, especially when it comes to influential figures in the tech world. The SEC alleges that Musk violated regulations by not disclosing his significant stake in Twitter in a timely manner.
So what's the crux of the issue? Why is this disclosure so important?
Well, timely disclosure is crucial for protecting investors and ensuring a level playing field. When someone with Musk's influence acquires a substantial stake in a company, it can significantly impact market dynamics and potentially give them an unfair advantage.
Yeah, it makes sense there need to be rules in place to prevent that sort of thing.
Absolutely. This case raises important questions about the responsibilities of tech leaders and the need for robust regulations to govern their actions.
Okay, let's talk about a potential shift in U.S. immigration policy that could have significant implications for Indian tech professionals. There's been discussion about easing visa requirements for skilled workers.
Right. This proposal has sparked quite a debate. On one hand, easing visa restrictions could attract more skilled talent to the U.S., potentially boosting its economy.
Right.
However, some worry about the potential impact on American workers, fearing job displacement.
It's a complex issue with a lot of factors to consider.
Absolutely. It's a balancing act between attracting global talent and protecting domestic jobs. It'll be interesting to see how the U.S. government navigates this issue in the coming months.
Okay, let's bring it back to India for a moment. I was reading about some exciting developments in Mumbai's property market. It seems like 2 major residential projects are nearing completion.
You're talking about Valor and Adani's project in Bandra Kurla Complex and the Lodha Group's luxury development in Worli.
Yeah.
These projects signal a continued demand for high-end residential properties in Mumbai's prime locations.
It seems like despite economic fluctuations, Mumbai's real estate market is holding strong.
It's a testament to the city's status as a financial and commercial hub. Mumbai continues to attract investment and high-net-worth individuals, driving demand for luxury properties.
Okay, let's talk about a story that highlights the importance of financial compliance. It seems Mankind Pharma has been hit with a hefty penalty related to GST.
Yes, the tax authority in Kolkata imposed a penalty of over 2 crore on the company for alleged discrepancies in their GST filings. This case underscores the critical need for businesses to maintain accurate records and ensure compliance with tax regulations.
It seems like even seemingly minor discrepancies can have significant financial repercussions.
Absolutely. It's a costly reminder that tax compliance is not something to be taken lightly.
Okay, let's shift our focus to the global energy market. It seems OPEC Plus is considering cutting oil production in an effort to stabilize prices.
Right. There are concerns about a potential global oil surplus, which could lead to further price declines. OPEC Plus is exploring production cuts as a way to manage supply and demand dynamics and prevent a sharp drop in prices.
It's a delicate balancing act. They need to find a way to stabilize the market without disrupting global energy supplies.
Exactly. Their decisions have far-reaching implications impacting economies and consumers worldwide.
Okay, this next story highlights the ongoing challenges faced by farmers in India. It seems there's been a protest in Punjab demanding a legal guarantee for minimum support prices.
Right. Farmers are concerned about income security and the vulnerability of their livelihoods to market fluctuations. They're calling for legislation that would make minimum support prices, MSP, a legal entitlement, ensuring a guaranteed minimum price for their crops.
It's a complex issue with implications for food security, farmer livelihoods, and government policy.
Absolutely. Finding a solution that addresses the concerns of farmers while also considering the broader economic implications is a significant challenge.
Okay, let's dive into the world of finance for a moment. I was reading about a growing trend towards factor-based investing. What's the appeal of this approach?
Well, factor-based investing involves building portfolios around specific factors such as value, growth, momentum, or quality that have historically outperformed the market. It's a data-driven approach that seeks to identify and exploit these factors to generate higher returns.
Sounds like a more strategic and analytical way to approach investing.
It's gaining popularity as investors seek more personalized strategies that align with their specific risk tolerance and financial goals.
Okay, let's talk about a company that's riding the wave of this trend towards personalized investing. BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager, has reported record inflows into its exchange-traded fund ETF business.
ETFs are becoming increasingly popular due to their diversification, low costs, and ease of trading. BlackRock's success in this area reflects its ability to cater to evolving investor preferences.
It's interesting to see how financial institutions are adapting to these changing trends in the investment landscape. Okay, let's wrap up our deep dive with some practical advice for those looking to improve their personal finances in the new year. I came across an article with some helpful New Year's resolutions for boosting your investment portfolio.
These resolutions highlight the importance of key financial planning principles such as asset allocation, risk management, diversification, and starting early, it's a reminder that small, consistent steps can lead to significant long-term gains.
It's never too early or too late to start making smart financial decisions.
Exactly. Building a solid financial foundation takes time and effort, but the rewards are well worth it.
Well, that brings us to the end of our deep dive today. We've covered a lot of ground, from breaking news to global trends to personal finance tips.
It's been an engaging journey through a wide range of topics. Hopefully, our listeners have found it insightful and thought-provoking.
Remember, knowledge is power, and the more informed we are, the better equipped we are to navigate the complexities of the world around us.
So keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.
Until next time.